This has to work its way through the system.
Bill, are you going to hop
Growing
on
oats
for
is good
halftime?
for the environment because oat plants absorb excess soil nitrates.
Bill, what did you see from the
It's a
Wolverine
byproduct
cheerleaders?
of commercial fertilizer. The oat roots prevent nitrates from leaching into waterways. Plus, Smith says this northern climate works well for oats.
Yeah,
so it's certainly a crop that can be grown in this region, and the economics really depend on the markets, and those are pretty complicated these days.
So instead of selling to the big guys, what could be helpful for oat farmers here is to mill and sell their oats locally. That's where an Iowa farmer named Landon Plaguey comes in. He's building Green Acres Oat Mill just across state lines in Albert Lea, Minnesota.
We need to move beyond being just commodity producers, and we have to do it at scale, and we also have to do
during the holiday season. Available at bitwarden.com.
This final note on the way out today, which I saw this morning when I went to check on something, but I just clicked on past it. Wikipedia has gotten into the whole yearly Wrapped thing. Spotify tells you what you listen to and for how long. Wikipedia tells you what rabbit holes you went down. Maybe this is just me, but I'm not sure I want to be reminded, you know? Our theme music was composed by BJ Liederman. Marketplace's executive producer is Nancy Fargali. Dwayne Griffith is the chief content officer. Neil Scarborough is the vice president and general manager. And I'm Kyle Rizal. Have yourselves a great weekend, everybody. We will see you back here on Monday, all right?
There we go. Can you give me something?
Yes.
90 seconds.
This is APM.
Hi, this is Tanya Mosley, here to let you know about NPR Plus, a new way to unlock extra content from Fresh Air and a bunch of your other favorite NPR podcasts.
Go to btpm.org/NPR Plus to sign up today.
Ralph Wilson took a gamble on this city.
All right, 1 minute.
That Barney Rubble, what happened?
He gave back so much to our community and made it so much better. Both the football team and all the philanthropy. Just an incredible legacy.
Watch Ralph, December 10th at 9:30 on BTPM PBS.
Hi, I'm Stephen McKinley Henderson. Thank you for listening to BTPM NPR, WBFO and WBFO HD1 Buffalo, WOLN Olean, and WBJ Jamestown. A service of Buffalo Toronto Public Media.
It's a wonderful night for basketball in Western New York. The 2025-2026 Friday Night Lights season begins with boys hoops in Buffalo. Hello, friends. Jack Kreuzer alongside PJ Cauley once again for basketball season on BTPM's Friday Night Lights in partnership with Section 6, presented by Villa Maria College, New York's home for cutting-edge majors and unmatched support. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by the WNED Foundation Incorporated, and by Mr. Goodbar, your headquarters for watching away games on Elmwood Avenue, and by Denny's, America's Diner is always open, and by Brighton Liquor and Wine, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda, and by SEI. More information at SEIC.com. Welcome to the Denny's pregame show. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. So good to have PJ Cauley back. We've got a great game to start the season. Boys hoops, Sweet Home is at Buffalo Science Academy. PJ, welcome back to the booth.
Boy, it's nice to be back here. I just got to get my sea legs, about me, Jack. You might have to help me out here today.
I'll give you all the training wheels you need for week one, and then for the rest of the season, you're on your own. I'm letting you go free.
But we do have a nice matchup. Two athletic teams here. Buffalo Science in their third ball game of the year. The Panthers coming in with their opener. We'll see if that game experience gives the Wolverines any advantage here at home.
Buffalo Science Wolverines, 1-1 on the season. They're an independent school. They don't have an affiliation to their league, so they get to build their schedule however head coach and athletic director Matt Helm deems necessary, and that includes 3 games in 4 days to start the season this week.
Yeah, it's challenging when you don't have a league, and it looks as though when you look over their schedule, they've put together a nice schedule, but they're kind of at the mercy of the other clubs that are in a league and have league play. So yeah, they've got some games early, and as you look to February, some games late where the league schedule is not as active.
Yeah, most teams in ECIC, Niagara Frontier League, even down in the CCAA in Chautauqua and Cattaraugus County, their league schedules don't typically begin until January.
Yeah.
So this December season is jam-packed with games for Buffalo Science Wolverines.
And it's really a challenge there because you've got so many games so quickly, then you've got some downtime there. Okay, for Coach Matt Helm, he's going to take the information before the first of the year that he gets from these games and work with his team so they're prepared in 2 months' time after that.
This is the first year that Matt Helm has been the head coach of this Buffalo Science program. A year ago, he took over the athletic director position. He was the JV head coach the year prior. Now, double duty, athletic director and head coach. Did you ever serve as both AD and head coach during your time?
I did for 3 years, and I think the only reason I was able to do it is I wasn't sure what my actual job was from 7 to 3. But I had quite a bit, and not just athletics, health ed, phys ed, nurses, facilities. Very challenging. At a school like this, though, where you don't have the volume of sports, you get the right person in there, it can springboard your whole school.
For Buffalo Science, they come off a terrific season, a banner program year. Just 4 years ago, they were winless, 0-19. In 24-25, they went 16-7 and went to the Class A2 sectional championship game at Buffalo State, where they fell to Lackawanna. But a banner year for the Wolverines, and they bring a lot of talent back this season.
Yeah, they have some real veteran leadership on their team. They've got some good size, and they're very athletic. Now, their first ball game, they overmatched Hutch Tech. Last night, they got a little overmatched themselves. This is a really good test for them back here at home.
Tuesday night, it was a 70-15 win here at the former home of the Bandai College Mavericks here at Sullivan Center in Buffalo, just off the 190, heading toward Delaware Park. Last night, though, they were on the road at Tapestry, a 59-44 loss for the Wolverines, where head coach Matt Helm says they got out-physicaled in every sense of the word.
Yeah, and that will be a challenge here tonight. Sweet Home, though not as big as Tapestry, will play aggressively. Good challenge for the Wolverines in their third game, and as I mentioned before, for the Panthers, just their first game here. Not a practice, not a scrimmage, real game. I know Coach Brandon Woods is anxious to see how his guys respond.
We were at this game, at this building rather, on Tuesday for their win over Hutch Tech, just taking in the environment. Boy, do they pack the house here at the old Medaille College gymnasium.
You know, for the folks that haven't been down here, this is a great venue for a basketball game. Always has been. And the Wolverines playing good basketball make it worth your trip.
Our spotlight player tonight for Buffalo Science is their senior forward, Jaleel Flowers, a 2-year starter, stands at 6'3". He's the leading scorer for the Wolverines from a year ago, averaged 16 points a game last season. Flowers is the glue guy that holds it all together, wearing number 5 in white tonight.
Yeah, what I liked about his game when we watched him Tuesday night is he's not content to fire the ball from the perimeter without first trying to get to the basket for himself or his teammates. Solid player, Jaleel Flowers, will be a difference maker in tonight's game.
Continuing on with the Denny's pregame show. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open on BTPM's Friday Night Lights. The Sweet Home Panthers, as we mentioned before, this their first game of the regular season. Last year they went 12-10. It was their first time finishing above 500 in 4 seasons. Looking to build off some momentum that head coach Brandon Woods started to gain at the end of last season.
Brandon Woods is an excellent educator first to these young men, and he's building that program back up. He has some parts here, you know, some veteran parts, with Washington, with McGrath, with Patterson, with Kitchenrow. So they're really looking to see if they can be a real factor in ECIC2 this year. If you look at their schedule, not only a tough schedule in ECIC2, but some tough non-league matchups as well.
Yeah, not only starting the season tonight here at a tough road environment at Buffalo Academy of Science, then they play Lancaster, Will North, and Orchard Park all in the next 9 days.
Yeah, all those ECIC1 foes, that usually are very, very physical teams.
Sweet Home looking to show some physicality tonight. That's what Brandon Wood says could be the difference against a stout Buffalo Science team with reps under their belt. We'll see how much game experience early in the season matters as we get going. Tip-off coming your way in just under 15 minutes as we continue on with the Denny's pregame show. Our spotlight player for the Sweet Home Panthers, Sean McGrath, a 3-year starter for the Panthers, is a true facilitator, and as Brandon Wood said, he's an extension of the head coach on the floor.
Yeah, no question about it. He says really positive things about Sean McGrath. McGrath puts ink in every stat category. He scores. He sets his teammates up with assists. He's good on the backboard, and he's good defensively, can take the ball away.
McGrath was a key piece for the Panthers last season. They went to the Class AA2 semifinal at Buffalo State. They fell to eventual champions Health Sciences. Health Sciences would beat Will East in the title game. Sweet Home just a few points away from clinching that championship game. So two very similar programs here that have grown a lot over the last 3 seasons. Both were near winless or winless 3 to 4 years ago, now competing for sectional championships. Credit fully to their athletic programs.
No question about it, and this is the kind of game you want early in the year. You want a true sense of where you really are, because you just can't, as much as you try, you can't simulate the intensity that game day brings in practice.
We'll step aside on the Denny's pregame show when we return. Team objectives for Buffalo Academy of Science and Sweet Home for our first basketball broadcast of the season. This is BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College.
Brighton Wine and Liquor, located at 930 Brighton Avenue in Tonawanda, features wines from all over the world and expert curators who can help you select the right wine or spirit for your occasion. Brighton Wine and Liquor, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda.
If you're from Western New York, you know snow. And unfortunately, you know how damaging those annoying potholes can be. But do you know what's involved in filling those potholes so your car tires stay intact? Let me put you on, because maintaining roads involves way more than the average citizen might think. Corey here with Compact Civics. Cities, counties, and states all take part in this process. How? Well, a state might be responsible for filling potholes and paving, but a city handles snow plowing and de-icing. Try and imagine a city or town without a public works department. No one to manage schools, hospitals, roads, bridges, airports, water, sewage, parks, beaches. We deserve these spaces, and our taxes pay for it all. So, next time you drive across a smooth road or see a snowplow clearing one, appreciate it. Public works are the backbone of what keeps our communities and quality of life thriving.
Do you love theater? Can't get enough of Broadway shows? Join Buffalo Toronto Public Media this January in New York City for Just in Time, Operation Mincemeat, Buena Vista Social Club, The Play That Goes Wrong, and The Queen of Versailles. Show tickets, hotel, travel, and select meals are included. Space is limited, so don't delay. January 19th through the 23rd. Visit btpm.org/travel.
Buffalo Toronto Public Media has new and innovative ways to generate revenue for your business. We have a robust menu of digital features that can help your business grow. Contact Bill Sauer at 716-845-7000.
Welcome back to the Sullivan Center in Buffalo, New York. Jack Kreuzer and PJ Cauley with you for BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College. This is the Denny's pregame show. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. PJ, do you feel that the fall back on the sidelines rejuvenated your coaching spirit. It was great to see you with Lancaster a couple times.
I'm just grateful for the Lancaster staff and my guys, my players. Boy, it was a real joy for me to be back, and we look forward to next year. We think we can put some things a little bit more together with our group coming back next year to be very competitive. So it was really, really just a blessing for me, Jack. Blessing.
For you to be back on the football sidelines as well, it had been a little while since you coached football.
2015 was the last time. That was the last time I did any day-to-day coaching. So I was back in, my element from 35 years ago, preparing your practices, executing your practice plans, and just trying to be a role model for my young guys that, man, I love those guys.
What's funny tonight is we've got the Buffalo Science Wolverines taking on the Sweet Home Panthers in boys basketball action, a team that you coached at one point in time.
I did.
30-ish years ago, coaching the Sweet Home Panthers.
Yeah, Section 6 champions, 1998. You got it right down there.
One of the program's 6 sectional championships. When you were 31 and you get hired as your alma mater to be the varsity head basketball coach, what do you wish you knew then that you know now about coaching?
Wow, that's a really good question because I didn't know a lot. I was filled with energy and enthusiasm, and I was in the right place. I was still at 31 years old, a Sweet Home kid. I was Sweet Home kid coaching Sweet Home kids, so we got each other. And those kids, boy, they were really good players and really tough kids. And I just wish I knew a little more basketball at that time. I thought I knew it, but I didn't really know.
Well, you've got 2 young coaches here tonight in Brandon Woods and Matt Helm. A little more experience on the Sweet Home side for Brandon Woods, who has been here for the better half of a decade. Matt Helm in his first year as head coach. What would be the wisdom you would impart to 2 coaches who are taking programs from one stage to new heights?
I would say to them to work on your defensive house and make that your foundation and build a culture. What's acceptable in our program? Don't stand for anything that's not acceptable, and continue to model for what is successful, acceptable in your program. You got to set those standards. As Coach Mike Tomlin says, the standard is the standard. That's just how it is.
And Mike Tomlin maybe
looking for work too.
Maybe
we'll bring him up.
With the visitors, the Sweet Home Panthers, their first key limit transition points.
Yeah, the Wolverines like to run. Coach Brandon Woods is concerned about his team's ability to rebound the basketball. Okay, so they're going to have to send people to the glass. On the offensive side, though, it leads us to our second point. You have to limit Buffalo Science transition opportunities. They do a very good job of getting down the floor and pitching the ball ahead to the open man. Sweet Home has got to be very aware of that.
They've got 2 returning players that should lead them tonight in Sweet Home in Sean McGrath and Makai Patterson. Aside from that, they're still figuring out their starting 5. Coach Brandon Woods says he knows his center, being Marshawn Washington, the football player at 6'2" in the post. But aside from his 2 guards in Washington, those other 2 starters still to be determined for the latter half of this season. Tonight it will be Washington with McGrath and Patterson, joined by the senior Quentin Wilhelm in his first year playing varsity basketball, and the junior forward Abdul Kishenrow starting for Sweet Home. The team objectives for the Buffalo Science Wolverines: number 1, attack in transition.
Yeah, that's where they're good. When they got out and ran on Tuesday night, they put up over 70 points. Last night against Tapestry, that was limited. Now their offensive output's only 44. They've got to look to run. That starts with defensive stops, though. Getting defensive stops, and again, pitching the ball ahead. They've got plenty of players that run well. I was impressed by the way they ran wide and deep the other night against Tech.
Yeah, that second key for Buffalo Science, kind of leading into the attack in transition, closing the gaps in their defensive zone.
Now, it may have been game plan, Jack, but there was a very aggressive, loose trapping type of system they were playing against Hutch Tech. If they employ that again, there's a lot of space, particularly in the middle of the floor. They're going to have to do a good job, and Sweet Home will look to exploit that.
4 of 5 starters for Buffalo Science are confirmed tonight. 1 to be determined at the announcements in just a few moments. The starters confirmed for Buffalo Science, the 5'6" senior guard Richard Dixon, who averaged 3 points a game last year. He's averaging triple that this season at 9 points per contest. Jaleel Flowers is our spotlight player, averaging 16 points a game. He stands at 6'3" at the point forward position. Damone Parker Jr., a 6'4" forward, and the 6-foot senior Mohamed Adams, the 4 starters that are confirmed for Buffalo Science Wolverines. I wouldn't be shocked to see the sophomore guard Jackson Vargas perhaps get a chance to crack the starting lineup tonight in Buffalo Science for a second home game this season, their 3rd game this week. We will step aside and have tip-off after a quick break on BTPM's Friday Night Lights. Tip-off coming up after this.
Teamwork and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
BTPM's Friday Night Lights, in partnership with Section 6, is presented by Villa Maria College, advancing educational opportunity for all of Western New York. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by the WNED Foundation Incorporated. Mr. Goodbar, your headquarters for watching away games on Elmwood Avenue. Denny's, America's Diner is always open. Brighton Liquor and Wine, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda. And by SEI. SEI proudly supports the WNED Foundation.
These days, it seems like there are people who think the voting process is absolutely lawless. Like you just show up and toss your pin on any old ballot. But I'm here to set that straight, because I'm Corey, and this is Compact Civics. First, you have to register. It's a pretty rigid process, but it's not hard to do. In New York State, you can do it at any DMV, by mail, or online. To be eligible to vote in all U.S. elections, you must be a U.S. citizen, meet your state's residency requirements, and be at least 18 years old by Election Day. For the record, non-citizens and permanent legal residents cannot vote. To ensure you can vote, confirm your eligibility, register by your state's deadline, and understand any rule that may affect your voting rights. Voting is the easiest way to participate in democracy and influence governance. But remember, it comes with strict legal guidelines.
Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from SEI. SEI proudly supports the WNED Foundation, connecting communities through the Friday Night Lights tradition. More information at SEIC.com.
Welcome back to the Sullivan Center in Buffalo, New York. Time for boys high school basketball on Buffalo Toronto Public Media's Friday Night Lights. Jack Kreuzer, PJ Cauley, it's Sweet Home against the Buffalo Science Wolverines for early season non-conference basketball. The Sweet Home Panthers, their first game of the season is tonight out of ECIC 2. This a non-league bout. The first of 5 straight non-league games before they hit their league schedule in January. For Buffalo Science, their games, all league games, according to their head coach, Matt Helm. As an independent school, they have no league affiliation. Every game is as important as a league match would be for their counterparts tonight. We will step aside and allow you to enjoy the national anthem at Buffalo Science Academy. It's a rockin' gymnasium in Buffalo, New York, the former home of the Medaille College Mavericks. Medaille College shut down in August of 2023. The Buffalo Academy of Science Charter School bought the campus, and boy, are they putting it to good use. We've got great high school hoops on tap for you tonight. PJ Cauley, how excited are you to be back and to have some great hoops tonight?
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure to be back. And, hey, we're in the hardwood now. That's really where I grew up. So looking forward to it. And you mentioned what a nice facility here at the Sullivan Center. Looks like there must be a problem with something in the book because McGrath is shooting free throws before we even begin.
Technical foul assessed to Buffalo Academy of Science during warm-ups. And McGrath sinks the first of 2 technical free throw shots. This will substitute for our Denny's tip-off. Denny's, America's Diner, is always open. McGrath begins the game with 2 made free throws. And the Sweet Home Panthers will take the first possession of the game, attacking the rim to our right. We welcome you from the track above the court at the Sullivan Center.
I'd love to ask Kenny Harris, our official, what that technical was assessed for.
McGrath carries the rock for Sweet Home across the timeline on the far side. Swung up top for Mekhi Patterson. McGrath with his neon green shoes below his navy blue uniform gets it to the left lane. Drive inside for Patterson. His layup is short. Rebound for Buffalo Science, Jaleel Flowers. Up the right wing, slowed up by Damone Parker Jr. His throw bounces as he drives into the lane on the right side. He throws up a shot that is wide to the left, but a foul called on the attempt. Our officials tonight, Kenny Harris and Jessica Hernandez.
Both teams start out man-to-man. Parker attacks the basket and gets an early foul on Abdul Kishinero.
Parker Jr. gets the first one to rattle in off back iron and true. Damone Parker Jr., 6'4" senior forward for Buffalo Science.
Had a nice year last year, averaging 10 points a game, 89 rebounds, 30 assists, and 44 steals on the year for Parker.
He goes 2 for 2 from the stripe to knot the game at 2. Not a minute in from Buffalo Academy of Science. Left block layup with 2 hands for Abdul Kishinero of Sweet Home, going left to right. He is fouled by Damone Parker Jr. His first.
Kishinero says what's good for you is good for me. He gets the ball and attacks the basket. We've had 3 possessions, all 3 have been at the basket. That's a positive thing for both teams offensively.
Kishinero sinks the first free throw. I patiently await our first ill-advised 3 slip from PJ Cauley this season.
I have citations.
Who will be the recipient?
I'm not against 3. I'm against irresponsible use of the 3.
Kishinero goes 2 for 2. It's a 4-2 lead for Sweet Home over Buffalo Science, and a foul called away from the ball. Managed to top the key, and Jaleel Flowers picks up his first, our spotlight player for Buffalo Science.
He's a guy can't get in foul trouble, and with one this early, if I'm head coach Brandon Woods, I'm looking to attack him at the basket. He gets into foul trouble, the Wolverines change.
McGrath blows by his defender at the midcourt stripe and takes it right to the rack with a right-handed lay. 4 points for McGrath and a 6-2 lead for Sweet Home. Right down the lane goes Walker for Buff Psi. He converts at the rim, 6-4.
Nice job by Walker, knifing inside with the left hand.
Walker comes out to defend on McGrath on the left lane. Atop the key, Kishinero swings it near side. Quentin Wilhelm, the senior first-year varsity basketball player, gets it over to the right. Kishinero dribbles inside, spin move, up with the right hand, strong off the window. Rebound tip to the three-point line. Dixon dives after it for Buff Psi, and a foul is called as he lays out Superman style onto the hardwood.
It's going to go on Wilhelm. That's his first. Kishinero was there. That would have been his second had the official called it on him.
Buff Psi brings the ball up straightaway center with Desir Walker, the senior who led the team in assists and steals last season. Down the right lane goes Parker Jr. His two-handed jumper strong, off backboard, out to the near sideline, out of bounds, off of Sweet Home and Wilhelm.
both teams need to be a little bit more patient and get some more side-to-side movement. Get the basketball from one side to the other. Try to attack the seams.
Flowers right to the rack. Righty lay from the left side is short. Rebound goes to Washington of Sweet Home. Leading 6-4, 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Right to the rim goes Patterson. His Euro step results in a foul called on Buffalo Science. They say it was during the shot. So Patterson goes to the line. Flowers picks up his second.
Ooh, that's not good here. Just not even 2 minutes gone. Jaleel Flowers picking up his second. Coach Matt Helm is going to have to manage foul trouble with his top player this entire game.
Mekhi Patterson hits the first free throw. 5 of Sweet Home's 7 points at the charity stripe already.
You know, it depends on how you handle it as a coach. Some coaches would have Jaleel Flowers sitting next to him right now with 2 in the first half. Okay, great players have to learn to play with foul trouble, but it's awful early to have 2.
Patterson hits both from the stripe, 7-4. Check that, a violation on the second shot from Patterson negates it. The score remains 7-4. Down the right side, Parker jump stop through the lane, has his shot deflected, taken away by McGrath of Sweet Home. Up the floor, into the paint. Wilhelm's layup is strong. Rebound tipped off the backboard and grabbed by Parker Jr. of Buff Psi. Up the floor looking for Walker. It's picked off by Washington. Sweet Home slows it down, coming to the right side.
Helter-skelter pace early.
Kishenrow up top for Patterson. Ball above his head. Swings it left side for McGrath. Takes a peek to the corner, dribbles that way, double team, step back Jay at the line. It's short off the iron. Rebound for Sweet Home, collected on the near side by Wilhelm. Double team in the corner with Flowers and Walker on him, and Wilhelm steps out of bounds. A turnover on the Sweet Home Panthers with a 7-4 lead, 5:17 to go in the opening quarter on Friday Night Lights.
Wilhelm found himself with the 2 best defenders on the floor, the Line brothers, side and base. Stepped on one of them, it's a turnover.
Walker breaks the timeline with a swing pass to Jamel Humphrey off the bench. Humphrey into the lane for the cutting Walker. He couldn't catch it. His teammate Flowers does. His jumper is strong and to the right. Rebound for McGrath of Sweet Home. Right to the rack. He loses possession as it tips off the hands of Parker. Stolen away by Buff Psi. Parker gets it down low for Walker. His layup from the left is blocked, but a foul called on Sweet Home as Kenny Harris relays the signal.
That's going to be Quentin Wilhelm's second for the Panthers. Coach Brandon Woods told him, stay in there, young man, stay in there.
2 players with 2 fouls, 1 on either team. First free throw good for DeJear Walker.
And Quentin Wilhelm is a key piece to Sweet Home, but Jaleel Flowers is a huge piece for Buffalo Science. If I'm the Panthers, I'm aware of where he is on offense and how we can attack him.
Walker misses the second free throw. Rebound for Sweet Home right down the floor. Patterson goes and he lays it in from the left side. 9-5 the lead for Sweet Home cut into. Down the lane, Walker jump stop. Out of bounds off of Sweet Home as he tried to skirt past Kishenrow. A substitution brings Wilhelm to the Sweet Home bench. In his place comes Shadir Rainey, the 5'8 transfer from Cheektowaga. Right wing Parker Jr. pump fakes the 3, gets it to the corner. A step inside for Flowers. His jumper is short. Rebound for Sweet Home on the weak side. McGrath brings it up.
At least initially, Brandon Woods' fears of not being able to rebound haven't been true. The Panthers been good on the glass.
McGrath dances in and floats it with the right hand high in the air. Finishes strong. 11-5. Sweet Home adds on to their lead. Buff Psi up the left sideline. Humphrey is challenged strongly by Rainey, who forces the turnover out of bounds.
McGrath has a good rhythm early to his game. He's seeing the floor and he's getting to the rim.
Sean McGrath, 11 points per game last season as a junior. He loses a key teammate from a year ago in Dondre Walker, who averaged 11 points a game. A lot more on the shoulders of McGrath this year. Left side, drive into the paint. Patterson through traffic, misses strong. Rebound, put back good. McGrath for Sweet Home adds 2 more.
You know, when you're a scorer, you score in a lot of ways. There's an offensive rebound for McGrath.
Walker down the lane, to the right block, and a charge called. Sweet Home's Patterson set his feet just outside the restricted zone and gets the charge called against Buff Sci.
Sweet Home not fazed at all by the pace of the game that Buffalo Science wants to play. They're a little bit more connected than the Wolverines right now.
Foul on Desir Walker, offensively called. Sweet Home with possession, baseline jumper, switch. Mekhi Patterson. 15-5. The Sweet Home Panthers have a 10-point lead on Buff Sci. 3:15 to go in the opening quarter and a timeout. 30 seconds called by Matt Helm, the head coach of the Wolverines.
Brandon Woods told us this morning he was very confident in his guard play of McGrath and Patterson. Those two seniors right now are the most dominant players on the floor, hence an early 10-point lead for my alma mater, Sweet Home High.
This timeout for Buff Sci brought to you by Mr. Goodbar, your game day headquarters on Elmwood Avenue. 15-5 the lead for Sweet Home over Buff Sci. We haven't seen the Wolverines run out in transition once tonight, PJ.
No, Brandon Woods has seen them play. He's got a good game plan in mind. And the Panthers are the ones really attacking the glass right now, attacking the basket, putting the Wolverines on their heels early in this game.
It is a Buff Sci ball. The question is, who do they get the ball to out of this timeout, with Flowers substituted out along with Richard Dixon?
Well, they're going to have to get through this 3 minutes in this first quarter with Flowers on the bench.
Dante Pruitt comes in off the bench along with Dante Johnson for Buff Sci. Atop the key, it is Parker Jr. stolen away by Patterson. End-to-end, a throwdown! Make it Abdul Kishenrow with the jam on the rim to our right. 17-5 Sweet Home.
High flyer, there's a momentum play for the Panthers.
The right-hand tomahawk from Abdul Kishenrow at 6'3". High-pressure defense from the Sweet Home Panthers. They get the ball on the ground, a jump ball called on the far side. Shadir Rainey comes away with the basketball for Sweet Home.
Well, this Buffalo Science crowd had a lot of energy to start the game, but the Panthers have seized the energy and the momentum, and it's mostly been with their defense and their attack of the glass.
Parker Jr. front court right, calls for a pass and gives it up for Walker. Turns the corner at the nail, poked away atop the key, and here comes Sweet Home again. This is Patterson, Euro step around the defender, and he got the foul and the bucket to go. Patterson, silky smooth in the lane, and he gets Pruitt his first foul.
Very good footwork there, but also good strength to absorb that hit and still finish. Kenny Harris, the official, the longtime official, said, yeah, he got hit. And Matt Helm early goes back in this 14-point deficit to Jaleel Flowers.
Flowers comes in. Damone Parker Jr. heads out. At the free throw line, Mekhi Patterson, 3 points already. There's 4 as he knocks down the and one. Back-to-back big-time plays off defensive steals for the Sweet Home defense. From the left sideline, Dante Johnson, the guard for Buff Sci, goes right at the rack on the left side, but left the layup short.
Yeah.
Rebound Sweet Home.
There they are getting down the floor, but they can't finish the easy one.
Sweet Home with a 20-5 lead. Down the right lane line, Rainey has it blocked out of bounds. Dante Johnson stepped right back defensively and had a rejection. It's a way to make up for the missed layup. Rainey to inbound at the baseline to our right underneath the track. Flips it to the near sideline for Kishenrow. Right wing three, McGrath. Left it short, off the rim. Rebound to the center court stripe. Patterson is there. Right corner three, Rainey. Got it! Threes in the sky for Shadir Rainey. He's on the scoreboard in the 2025-26 season. 23-5 the lead for Sweet Home. High pressure man-to-man defense from the Panthers as Buff Sci's Flowers got it atop the key, and a foul called on Rainey.
Rainey just had an ill-advised foul, but boy, he was ready to shoot that ball in the corner right in front of us. Good rhythm, eyes up, good finish for the youngster come over from Chickawaga Central.
The younger brother of Ja'Kai Rainey of Nichols fame. One of the best in Western New York this decade. Down the left side, Flowers is rejected by Rainey. living up to his namesake. Shadir across the timeline, jacks the three. It's an air ball to the right, out of bounds.
Well, I'm going to have to go to my pocket and get a citation there. Shadir Rainey, not a good three in that situation. The one you made it was inside to out. That one, the defense did nothing. You threw it up. It's their ball.
Straightaway center, step into the three-point line. Flowers misses the jumper to the left. Rebound for Patterson of Sweet Home.
Patterson very in control in his game.
Makai Patterson pressured on the right side by Johnson. Swings it to the right side. Stolen away from McGrath. High pressure defense from Dante Johnson, but a foul called in the process. Kenny Harris and Jessica Hernandez confer and agree on the call.
I think it may have been something away from the play or an inadvertent whistle perhaps for Kenny Harris.
Buffside gets possession. Their cheerleaders try to will them back into this one. Down 23-5 entering the final minute of the first quarter.
Panthers go to a zone here. Brandon Woods changing his defense at the end of the quarter.
Flowers down the baseline from the left corner. Leaves the layup short off the window. Rebound, Rainey of Sweet Home. He's picked up full court by Humphrey, and a foul called on Jamel Humphrey, his first. And that will send Shadir Rainey to the free throw line with his team in the bonus.
Again, an ill-advised foul there by Jamel Humphrey. Rainey is 60 feet from the basket. Move your feet, contain that dribbler. Don't put him on the line here and stop the clock. Panthers will get their defense set.
Rainey for two shots at the free throw line, stands square to the basket to our right. He sinks the first.
He's got a nice release, the left-hander Rainey.
Shadir Rainey, the spark plug off the bench as the sixth man. 4 points already. Spins the ball into his left hand, releases high and true. 5 points for Rainey, and it's a 25-5 lead for Sweet Home. 35 seconds to go in the quarter. Left arc three, off front iron from Dixon. Rebound below the basket. Dante Pruitt grabbed it. He misses the putback, blocked by Keschenroe.
You know, I like the way Dante Pruitt played the other day when we saw him. He's physical. He does a lot of little things for the Wolverines, and they need to focus on those little things right now. They're out of control, and that's why the Panthers have this big lead.
Right corner three from Johnson is well strong. Rebound for McGrath of Sweet Home. Up ahead to Patterson. His pass across the lane off a shoe and out of bounds on the far sideline. Just over 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter. It's a 25-5 lead for Sweet Home on the road. McGrath's neon green shoes stand in front of the opposing bench. He flips it to the center court stripe for Rainey. Shadir Rainey at 5'8". To the far side, McGrath hunches low, then dumps it inside. Back to the corner, three on the way. LaRusso rattles it home. Jackson LaRusso off the bench and on the scoreboard. 3 seconds to go, Buff side on the right side. Flowers Jackson, NBA three. He missed it to the right, but a foul called on the shot as Rainey gets called for his second.
Rainey doing a lot of good things out there, but two really careless fouls might put him next to Brandon Woods for an extended period of time.
Now Flowers at the free throw line as the first quarter has come to a close. He misses the first of 3 attempts. Down 28-5. An extended timeout for both teams as Flowers stands on an island to our left, and he misses the first 2 free throws, the second one off to the left. Jaleel Flowers, third attempt. That one is pure. He goes 1 for 3, and Flowers ends the first quarter with 1 point. It's a 28-6 lead for Sweet Home over Buff Sci after 8 minutes. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
A well-crafted will or estate plan speaks volumes about your hopes and dreams for the future. It also ensures that what you've worked a lifetime for is distributed according to your wishes. As Buffalo Toronto Public Media looks to our future, we would be honored to share.
Welcome back to the Sullivan Center in Buffalo, New York. Jack Kreuzer, PJ Cauley with you on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College, New York's home for cutting-edge majors and unmatched support. Well, it's a 28-6 lead for Sweet Home over Buff Psi at the end of one quarter. PJ, what went wrong for Buff Psi?
Sweet Home's pressure and Sweet Home's focus on getting to the basket and cutting the basket off has caused real problems for Buff Psi. They're going to have to have some purposeful possessions and really cut the basket off to have a chance to come back in this one.
Near sideline, Mekhi Patterson to inbound for Sweet Home in their traveling navy blue and gold kits. Patterson right to the rack, gets fouled by Flowers at the low left block. Flowers picks up his third foul of the game as our spotlight player for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and Coach Matt Helm's got a decision to make now. Looks like he's going to put Flowers to the bench and reinsert Damone Parker Jr.
Patterson's free throw number one off into the right. Parker Jr. comes back in. He's got 2 points so far. The leading scorer for Buff Psi is Desir Walker with 3.
Yeah, no glue out there. Again, I do like the game of Dante Pruitt. Okay, he's a football player, though, playing basketball, so he's going to be a little bit limited in terms of scoring. Gives you a lot of other things, but somebody's got to glue this thing together for the Wolverines here and chip away at this lead.
Perhaps 2 missed free throws for Sweet Home's. Patterson could be the ignition. Right side, it is Mohamed Adams to the left wing, 3 for Parker Jr., well off the mark and out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't get it all back at once. Parker Jr.'s firing up a 3 early in the shot clock. Got to have some more purposeful possessions.
That's going to warrant another citation.
Oh, I might have
Coach.
to get him out, sign one, put it in his locker.
Sweet Home, left corner, deep 3 for McGrath off the mark. Gets the miss, put back off back iron, but a foul as Sean McGrath gets hit in the head as he goes up for the putback. McGrath will go to the line for 2.
Another second chance opportunity for the Panthers. An area of concern for Coach Brandon Woods. Not the case tonight so far.
What a great showing to start the season. Putting up 28 points in the first quarter against a team in Buff Psi that most had ranked in the top 20 or so of the small schools coming in. First free throw, a miss for McGrath. He'll try again. Slow dribbles knee high, spun off the hardwood into the right hand. McGrath sinks the second, goes 1 for 2 on the trip. 7 points for Sean McGrath. Sweet Home in the opening half, leading 29-6. Into the paint, free throw line jumper off right rim for Adams. Rebound Sweet Home for Patterson.
Much better possession though, even though Adams didn't finish. A much better possession for the Wolverines.
Rainey crosses up on Dixon, goes into the lane, throws up a loose shot that is short of the nylon hanging down. Rainey then is shaken up. He gingerly moves his red and green shoes back to the defensive backcourt for Sweet Home. Does remain in despite a substitution. Wilhelm back in. LaRusso comes out for Sweet Home. Buff Psi ball, trailing by 23 in this second quarter. Dixon, jump stop across the timeline to his right for Johnson. Johnson dribbles left, pull up Jay, long 3 off right window, rebound down low by Pruitt. His putback is strong, but a foul. And it's a call on Washington, his first for Sweet Home.
There's Pruitt, Johnny on the spot again, in good position. His reward is 2 shots here.
Dante Pruitt, we've actually got a gift for him after this game. He's named to our All Friday Night Lights football team as a defensive end. Pruitt misses the free throw off into the left. He was a stud defensive end for Health Sciences, Global Concepts, and Buff Psi, all combined for one team. The Falcons went to the sectional championship game. Pruitt, a big reason why.
Yeah, good-looking prospect on the gridiron.
He makes the second free throw to get him on the score sheet tonight.
Banks are open here near Delaware Park tonight.
Who would expect that in December? Past 7 o'clock, we're lucky. Sweet Home ball across the timeline, up 29-7. 6:40 to go in the first half. Right side, deep three, early shot clock from Shadir Rainey. Missed it strong, rebound Panthers. Kishenrose three is off the mark. Rebound Buff Cy, Damone Parker Jr.
Buff Cy went to the zone there, and you may say, geez, down 22 points. Why would you do that? It may be just what the doctor ordered to slow Sweet Home down.
Offensive foul on Dante Pruitt on a hard screen away from the ball, trying to shake free Richard Dixon. Pruitt picks up his second personal foul tonight. And a timeout called by the Sweet Home Panthers and head coach Brandon Woods with 6:24 to go in the first half. This timeout brought to you by SEI, proudly supporting the WNED Foundation. More information at SEIC.com.
Good timeout by Coach Brandon Woods, former Will South Billy and Cortland State Red Dragon. He called that timeout because of the change of the defense for Buff Cy. Maybe the first time, certainly during the season in a game situation they've seen zone. Just want to reiterate to the guys what the points of emphasis are.
What would be your point of emphasis?
Get inside it. Get inside it, and remember, and we just saw it, okay? Crash the glass. Blockouts are not as well defined when we're in zone as they are in man-to-man. Use that to your advantage. But get inside that thing and have a basket mentality. Don't just fire from the cheap seats.
Sweet Home has done the last couple possessions. If it weren't for Buff Cy offensive fouls, Wolverines could have started to mount a comeback. Sweet Home ball inside the zone, quick passing, down to the low block, up to the free throw line, drive inside for LaRusso, or Wilhelm rather. He lays it in for two.
Do I speak the gospel or what, Jack? Get the ball inside. Nice job by Wilhelm attacking the basket.
Hallelujah. Buff Cy ball atop the key. Left wing, Parker Jr. crosses up on his defender, Keshenroe. Picks up the ball in the corner, pass to the elbow, picked off. It's Pruitt who gets it outside for Dixon. 15 to shoot. Dixon. Bounce pass to the left wing for Dante Pruitt. He picks up the ball, now puts it on the ground, goes to the rack. His finger roll rattles in. Dante Pruitt, his first field goal of the night. He's got three. Buff Cy cuts into the deficit.
Here's the zone again. Oh, Pruitt almost was picked.
Nearly picked off the pass to the near side. Down low pass for Keshenroe. His layup is strong. Offensive rebound. McGrath gets it in off back iron.
There's that offensive rebound there. Panthers quick off their feet, quick to the ball.
Adams across the timeline for Buff Cy. Nearly stolen away by Patterson. A foul called against Patterson of Sweet Home. First personal foul against Mekhi Patterson.
Patterson was in good position. He tried to steal that ball with the wrong arm, not the far arm. Get the near arm, the near hand there. You probably steal that ball.
Second team foul against Sweet Home this second quarter. 5:18 to go in the first half. Standing room only at Buffalo Academy of Science at the old Medaille College campus gym inside the Sullivan Center. Damone Parker Jr. dribbles between the legs atop the key. The lanky forward flips it over for Dixon. He jacks a three from straight away off left side of the rim. Rebounded by McGrath for Sweet Home up the left side. Patterson goes into the paint. Finger roll with the right off the window and in as he sent Dixon to the floor with a juke. 35-9 the lead for Sweet Home. Right side Dixon. Lowers the shoulder, the short guard, throws it to the near wing. Three on the way for Vargas is off left iron. Rebound Wilhelm as he snatches it at the left block. His pass up floor is stolen away by Dixon. Right at the rack, blocked by Wilhelm. And it's stolen away by the senior. And Wilhelm crosses up a defender. Dime ahead and Rainey pulls it out for Sweet Home. What a sequence for Wilhelm. Pass inside, McGrath, pump fake, got it to go off the window. The Panthers are firing on all cylinders.
You mentioned it, Wilhelm started it all.
Down the right side, Buff Cy with Humphrey draws a foul on a shot. He'll go for two.
Yeah, that sequence was started by Wilhelm, who got the rebound and then got out of trouble and got the ball ahead. Nice job by the senior.
For a kid who hasn't played basketball in a couple years and has never played basketball, that's a great sequence in your
Looked
first
pretty good right
game.
there. You know, the thing he has done, though, Jack, he's played in the Section 6 football championship. He's played in a lot of big games in other sports. So, you know, this is not foreign to him.
Sweet Home Panthers, Class A football champs in 2024. Wilhelm, a key piece for that team. At the free throw line, second attempt for Humphrey is no good. He goes 0 for 2 from the stripe for Buff Cy, who's had very little to cheer about, trailing 37-9 in the first half, coming off their first loss of the season last night at Tapestry. Into the left corner, a jump stop for Patterson around the jumping defender. He misses the long, too short. Rebound for Buff Cy's Jackson Vargas. The sophomore point guard swings it left side for Damone Parker Jr. His corner triple splash.
Well, they finally got one to go on those threes. It'd be interesting to see what their percentage is right now.
Sweet Home crosses the timeline, pass down inside the zone to the cutting Wilhelm through traffic. He finishes strong.
I'm impressed at Sweet Home. When Buff Cy went to the zone, all their possessions have been at the basket. That's how you solve the zone.
Damone Parker Jr., right side, down to Vargas. Baseline J is good. Vargas is on the score sheet, 39-14. Buff Cy trails. Shadir Rainey slows it down with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Buff Cy sets up in a 2-3 zone. Left wing, McGrath, inside Rainey, down low pass, another extra pass. Keschenroe finishes at the rim.
Great execution by the Panthers, and you called it, Jack, the extra pass. That's what offense is about, the ability to give up the good for the great. Panthers lay it in.
Timeout on the floor. Buff Cy takes a 30-second breather, trailing 41-14 on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College, New York's home for cutting-edge majors and unmatched support. Well, around Western New York, some great basketball games tonight, already final. Lewiston Porter represents Section 6 strongly, a 67-60 win over the Bishop Timon St. Jude Tigers at Niagara Falls in the Cataract Classic.
It's a nice win for Lew-Port, beating Coach Jay Rowe and the Timon Tigers. Believe me, though, Jay Rowe will get them better as the season goes on. He always does.
We will have the Bishop Timon Tigers on our broadcast schedule at home on February 13th when they host the Canisius Crusaders.
You know something about February 13th? I'll have a new hip at that game.
Yeah, you'll have to go through the
I might not be able to get in. Yeah, give me a special card.
Buff Cy with the ball out of the timeout. Dixon across the timeline to the right wing for Damone Parker Jr. He pulls up for a three straight away, strong. Rebound Vargas at the right block, and he's fouled by Sweet Home's defender on him. With his jersey rolled up, it's Shadir Rainey who picks up his third.
Jackson Vargas has done a nice job coming in off the bench. The sophomore has done a very solid job in trying to glue this Wolverine attack back together.
Damone Parker down low to Pruitt on the block. His pass up top through the hands of Humphrey and out of bounds. With Flowers sidelined with 3 fouls against him, Buff Cy's offense a little scrambling a bit, not able to figure out where the ball should go to. Now he's back in the game.
They're going back to Flowers. They got 6 guys on the floor, though. You can't do that.
Humphrey gets off just in time. Sweet Home possession, 2.5 to go in the first half. Right wing, Amir Harper off the bench for Sweet Home. Tries to swing it in for Wilhelm atop the key. It's stolen away by Pruitt on the errant pass. Parker Jr. down the right lane line. Right-handed finger roll is strong. Rebound tipped thrice in the air, stolen by Flowers. Left wing three, good! Richard Dixon knocks it down from the left wing. Buff Cy gets a little energy.
There's Pruitt again, though. Again, somewhat limited offensively, but he kept that ball alive, ended up in his teammate's hands for the three.
Sweet Home looks to respond after the Buff side triple. High pressure defense from Richard Dixon with his red hair tied back. Up top, Patterson, pass across the floor. Pruitt tips it up ahead. It's wide open for Dixon. He lays it up strong. He missed it all alone. Stolen away by Patterson. Up ahead, left corner. Wilhelm pump fake, drives baseline, handoff. Keshenroe got it in one. Flowers picks up his 4th foul. Quentin Wilhelm with an IQ play.
I'll tell you what, if we didn't know that this is the first time he played varsity basketball tonight, there's no way we would have assumed that. He has played composed and intelligent, you mentioned it, intelligent basketball throughout. They're dropping a dime, getting Flowers' 4th foul on him, and a 3-point play the old-fashioned way for his teammate Keshenroe.
And Abdul Keshenroe seemingly always in the right place.
I like the look of this guy. He's long, he's very quick off his feet, and as you said, understands where to be in relationship to his teammates in the basketball.
Walker has it stolen away by guess who? Wilhelm. Ahead for Keshenroe. He got another. Deja vu for the Sweet Home Panthers.
Those two guys are in sync.
Buff side looking to stop the bleeding. Right arc 3 in transition for Tyrone Ray is off the mark. Off the rim short. Rebound Patterson right at the rack for the Panthers. He knocks it down at the low right block. 48-17 Sweet Home. A minute to go in the first half. Pruitt, right elbow, pull up Jay off left window. Rebound Wilhelm. He's got to be approaching a double-double at this point. Front court left. Harper finds Wilhelm, and the Panthers slow it down. Buff Cy just fine with giving them some space. Wilhelm attacks the teeth of the defense right at Parker Jr. Offensive foul.
Yep.
Damone Parker Jr. set his feet.
He did. He got outside that arc there and got his feet set. But again, Wilhelm, man, showing a lot of intelligence, a lot of good athletic toughness out there from number 5.
Final 30 seconds of the opening half of the 2025 Friday Night Lights basketball season. Damone Parker Jr. pump fakes around the defender, gets it to the low block, and he puts it up and in. Damone Parker Jr. trying to will his team back. He's got 7 in this first half for Buff Side. Shot clock is off for Sweet Home's final possession of the opening half. What a way to start the season for Sean McGrath and the Panthers. Left side Patterson dances around the defender. Inside floater for McGrath is good. 13 for Sean McGrath to end the first half. 50-19. Sweet Home rolls Buff Side through 16 minutes of basketball.
And it's all about the basket. The Panthers are basket-centered, where the Wolverines have thrown up a lot of shots from outside the arc. You know what they call that, Jack? Fool's gold.
We'll talk more gold, more fools, and have some conversations on our scholar athletes and our across-campus players of the week, all coming up on the SEI Halftime Show after this on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College.
Brighton Wine and Liquor, located at 930 Brighton Avenue in Tonawanda, features wines from all over the world and expert curators who can help you select the right wine or spirit for your occasion. Brighton Wine and Liquor, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda.
If you're from Western New York, you know snow. And unfortunately, you know how damaging those annoying potholes can be. But do you know what's involved in filling those potholes so your car tires stay intact? Let me put you on, because maintaining roads involves way more than the average citizen might think. Corey here with Compact Civics. Cities, counties, and states all take part in this process. How? Well, a state might be responsible for filling potholes and paving, but a city handles snow plowing and de-icing. Try and imagine a city or town without a public works department. No one to manage schools, hospitals, roads, bridges, airports, water, sewage, parks, beaches. We deserve these spaces, and our taxes pay for it all. So, next time you drive across a smooth road or see a snowplow clearing one, appreciate it. Public works are the backbone of what keeps our communities and quality of life thriving.
Do you love theater? Can't get enough of Broadway shows? Join Buffalo Toronto Public Media this January and New York City for Just in Time, Operation Mincemeat, Buena Vista Social Club, The Play That Goes Wrong, and The Queen of Versailles. Show tickets, hotel, travel, and select meals are included. Space is limited, so don't delay. January 19th through the 23rd. Visit btpm.org/travel.
Buffalo Toronto Public Media has new and innovative ways to generate revenue for your business. We have a robust menu of digital features that can help your business grow. Contact Bill Sauer at 716-845-7000.
Glad to have you back with us from the Sullivan Center on the former campus of Medaille College, the now campus of Buffalo Science Wolverines. They are 1-1 this season, but they are trailing 50-19 to the Sweet Home Panthers in Sweet Home's first game of the new year. Jack Kreuzer, PJ Cauley with you on the BTPM's Friday Night Lights halftime show presented by SEI, proudly supporting the WNED Foundation. More information at SEIC.com. Well, your takeaways from the first half, PJ, that saw Sweet Home take a 50-19 lead.
Sweet Home was better in every category. They were better defensively. The concern of Coach Brandon Woods about their rebounding, well, that was not there in this first half. They did a heck of a job on the glass, and they had a basket mentality from the start. This game is still about the basket with the net there. The Panthers got there. Buff side, not so much.
For Sweet Home, Brandon Woods told us before the game, moving the ball, making the extra pass was a point of emphasis for him in game number 1 this year, something that he didn't see a lot of from his team in the scrimmages they had in the weeks leading up to tonight. I think you can say A+ on moving the ball tonight.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to see that in the scrimmage, that they're not doing it. So you can learn from that situation. Obviously they have, and now you get this game on tape and say, see, fellas, when we look to make one more, and that could be the second pass of a possession. It doesn't have to be like Hoosiers where, we got to have 5 or 6 passes. That extra pass can be early, just giving up a good to get my teammate a great.
This is Friday Night Lights on BTPM's NPR, WBFO, and WBFO HD1 Buffalo, WUBJ Jamestown, and WOLN Olean, a service of Buffalo Toronto Public Media Local Sports. Well, our across-campus players of the week this week for Sweet Home is wrestler Sophia Guadagna. Sophia is a 3-sport varsity captain for the Panthers girls soccer, wrestling, and lacrosse teams. As a co-founder of the Sweet Home girls wrestling program, she placed 5th overall in the New York State tournament last year. Sophia is also the president of Sweet Home High School's Girls Athletic Association and a contributing member of the Sweet Home student body government. Outside of athletics, she's a highly decorated and accomplished student as a member of the National Honor Society and the secretary for the Spanish Honor Society. Congratulations to Sophia.
Very well-rounded student athlete.
Sophia Guadagna from Sweet Home and from Buffalo Academy of Science. Our across-campus player of the week is women's basketball player Niobe Tuck Hall. Niobe is a multi-sport athlete who plays both basketball and flag football at Buffalo Academy of Science. She especially excels on the football field, where she is a captain for the Wolverines in the spring. With stellar academic marks, Niobe leads by example and is everything a school looks for in a student athlete. Congratulations to our across-campus players of the week for week 1 of the basketball season, where Friday Night Lights is proud to bring you both boys and plenty of girls basketball contests throughout the year. We'll step aside for a quick moment. We'll have scores from around Western New York in the basketball world tonight, all coming up after this on BTPM's Friday Night Lights, presented by Villa Maria College.
Visit Villa Maria College and discover what it means to be a Viking. Come see the energy, teamwork, and pride that makes the Villa Vikings unstoppable. Schedule your tour at visit.villa.edu.
BTPM's Friday Night Lights, in partnership with Section 6, is presented by Villa Maria College, advancing educational opportunity for all of Western New York. Friday Night Lights is supported by our members and by the WNED Foundation Incorporated. Mr. Goodbar, your headquarters for watching away games on Elmwood Avenue. Denny's, America's Diner is always open. Brighton Liquor and Wine, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda. And by SEI. SEI proudly supports the WNED Foundation.
These days, it seems like there are people who think the voting process is absolutely lawless. Like you just show up and toss your pin on any old ballot. But I'm here to set that straight, because I'm Corey, and this is Compact Civics. First, you have to register. It's a pretty rigid process, but it's not hard to do. In New York State, you can do it at any DMV, by mail, or online. To be eligible to vote in all U.S. elections, you must be a U.S. citizen, meet your state's residency requirements, and be at least 18 years old by election day. For the record, non-citizens and permanent legal residents cannot vote. To ensure you can vote, confirm your eligibility, register by your state's deadline, and understand any rule that may affect your voting rights. Voting is the easiest way to participate in democracy and influence governance. But remember, it comes with strict legal guidelines.
Support for Friday Night Lights comes from our members and from SEI. SEI proudly supports the WNED Foundation, connecting communities through the Friday Night Lights tradition. More information at SEIC.com.
Well, the cheerleaders for the Buff Psi Wolverines putting on a performance at halftime as we welcome you back to the SEI Halftime Show. SEI proudly supporting the WNED Foundation. More information at SEIC.com. Our Scholar Athletes of the Week from our teams tonight. First for the Sweet Home Panthers, who lead 50-19 at halftime. Luke Gustafson is our Scholar Athlete of the Week. Luke continues to excel, both in the classroom, maintaining a remarkable 96.5 GPA, while tackling a rigorous schedule that includes AP Calculus and college writing. Luke has already completed demanding coursework, including AP Biology, AP U.S. History, College Forensics, World History, and Algebra Honors, demonstrating exceptional commitment and discipline. I think you had a couple of those classes on your resume, PJ.
I think Luke has got a little bit more of a challenging academic load than I carried at Sweet Home High School.
For Buffalo Academy of Science senior Damone Parker Jr. is our Scholar Athlete. Damone excels both in the classroom and on the court, as we've seen tonight. As a straight A student this year, Damone made the honor roll in quarter one with a 94 GPA. He embodies the true meaning of student athlete through his hard work and commitment that is evident in his classes and on the court. Well, it's a 50-19 lead for the Sweet Home Panthers over Buffalo Science. We look back at our objectives that you listed in the pregame show, PJ. For Sweet Home, limit transition points and rebound as a team.
Check. And we can add that into that third thing about getting to the basket. They've had that mentality throughout. Their shot selection has been pretty good. It's got to be when you score 50 and a half in a high school game.
For Buffalo Science, forget their keys from the pregame. What do they have to do to try to claw their way back?
Well, it might not be your night to claw back tonight, but you've got to play much more connected, more team basketball on both ends of the floor. Okay, yeah, they're a little bit bigger than the Panthers, but they're not blocking the Panthers out. They're not putting a body on those blue shirts. If I'm Coach Matt Helm, I'm looking for some positivity here that they can build upon in this second half. And it would start with shot selection. Got to be a little bit more disciplined in your shot selection if you're going to even have a chance to cut into any part of this lead.
That'll do it for the SEI Halftime Show, proudly supporting the WNED Foundation. More info at SEIC.com. Buff Psi possession at the rim to our right. It's a corner three from Parker Jr. off the mark. Offensive rebound, a long two from straight away for Tyrone Ray is short off the rim. Rebound Sweet Home. Up the right side, Patterson slowly walks the dog across the timeline and finds Sean McGrath, the leading scorer with 13 so far, has it on the right wing. McGrath up top for Wilhelm, fakes the pass to his left, drives and now kicks to the cutter. Washington's lay is strong. Rebound for Ray of the Wolverines. And an over and back violation called against Buff Psi as Pruitt brought it across the timeline and tried to feed it back for Parker Jr., who was just a bit slow. and he taps his chest, says, my bad. Sweet Home ball with a 31-point lead. Left wing, Keshenroe, who's the lengthy forward, dribbles inside the lane, put up good. Oh, he floated in the air and knocked it off the glass for two.
I really like this 6'3" junior Keshenroe. I think he shows some real versatility, and as his body gets stronger, he could be a very good asset for the Panthers.
Tyrone Ray at the right elbow for Buff Side, gets it to the right side for Vargas. He is chased down and dimes up Ray in the corner to Pruitt. Mid-post on the right side, backs down his defender, offensive foul. Marshawn Washington set his feet and took the charge.
Pruitt's really tried to get his team going there, and he tried to do a little bit of something he's not really good at there. He's got to learn from that. If he doesn't have anything, don't put it on the ground and let these little people claw at it. Get it out of there and keep playing.
Right side, Sweet Home's senior guard, Micah Patterson inside the lane. Floater short, rebound for Ray of Buff Side. The short guard tries to get to center court and is tapped from behind. A foul on Sweet Home's Patterson, his second.
You know, too, when you have a big lead like this at halftime, you know, as a coach, when you're leading and you have your rotation in there, you want to focus on some certain elements. Can we go a whole half, fellas, without them getting an offensive rebound?
Damone Parker Jr. drains a triple from the left wing for Buff Side.
You know, can we get X number of assist passes? Can we take charges? Things that will yield improvement as the season goes on.
3-2 zone defense for Health Side, or Buff Side rather. Near wing Wilhelm, he catches and shoots a three from the left corner, strong. Offensive rebound McGrath, fadeaway Jay from far out. Offensive rebound grabbed by Washington, he's tied up, and a jump ball favors Sweet Home.
We talked about rebounding since the top of the telecast. Right there, you saw it. The Wolverines just looking at the ball there. You got to find a blue shirt and make contact.
At the baseline to our left, Sweet Home in their traveling navy and gold will inbound with McGrath, who wipes the bottom of his Grinch green shoes.
You don't remember, but there was a time that teams wore all the same shoes. Before your time,
It's seldom seen nowadays. I think a few schools still do it. I think Canisius does in the Monsignor Martin. McGrath near side. Keshenroe, Wilhelm. Back to the corner. Three for McGrath is good.
America's play, screen for the inbounder. McGrath knocks it down.
16 for McGrath. Left corner, pass across the baseline. Jumper for Walker is strong. Rebound Sweet Home's McGrath. Up ahead down the middle. McGrath, Euro step, tries to throw it up with two. Wilhelm was the trailer, but before number 5 could put it back, a foul called against Ray of Buff Side on McGrath.
McGrath having his way all night, getting to the basket. And Ray's looking at the official, Kenny Harris, saying, what'd I do? Well, you were in good position, and then you swatted down. If you kept your arms up, you may have gotten, away with that play. Your team's getting the rebound and going the other way.
McGrath misses the first strong.
Players never think they commit fouls, though. They're players are always bewildered when a foul's called on them.
McGrath makes the second, 1 for 2. Very rare you see the chest tap on a foul. Yeah, that was me. I think you see it a little more collegiately nowadays.
Yeah.
Ray inside the paint for Buff Side of the left wing, Damone Parker Jr. The forward likes to shoot. He dumps it inside for Pruitt. Pump fakes, goes up, missed it strong. High off the window, it's recovered by Sweet Home's Keshenroe. Down the lane, Wilhelm finishes strong with the right hand.
Great job by Wilhelm. Rim running right to the center of the rim. Gets rewarded with an easy 2.
Jamel Humphrey, end-to-end on the left sideline. His reverse finish is strong. Rebound Shadir Rainey, who pulls a 360 move. Up ahead, Wilhelm's triple. Strong off left iron. Offensive rebound, McGrath. His putback is good. Sean McGrath showing he can do it all tonight for Sweet Home. 60-22 they lead. Atop the key, it is Ray to the left wing, Parker Jr. Catch and shoot 3 off left iron, rebound to the corner. Caught by Vargas of Buff Side. His pass up top is stolen away by Shadir Rainey. End-to-end, Rainey's left-handed finish is good, plus the contact. He gets hit by Damone Parker Jr.
Shadir Rainey going to his strong side, the left there. I think it was Ray that ended up getting the foul, Jack, number 24, Tyrone Ray. And again, he's looking at Kenny Harris saying, what I do, you're not in position. Most fouls on the defensive end are a result of a player not being in the correct position. Good absorption of the contact by Shadir Rainey on that one.
Very agile is number 3 at 5'8". The and one converted on. 7 points for Shadir Rainey off the bench. 63-22, Sweet Home leads. Up ahead, Vargas has it stolen away by Sweet Home. Harper into the lane, kick outside. Rainey pulls the arcing 3. Off front iron, rebound Parker Jr. of Buff side offensively. Pushes the pace across the timeline left. Up ahead for Walker, down the baseline, reverse layup blocked. Out of bounds off Keshenrow. Abdul Keshenrow, at least before this game, most in Western New York might not have heard the name. Certainly someone to look out for this entire season.
I really like the look of this guy. I think he does a lot for Sweet Home, and I think he can really grow.
Just a junior, Keshenrow. 5-second violation against Buff Psi at the baseline, and Sweet Home takes possession. This has been a tough latter half of the week for Buff Psi after rolling past Hutch Tech 70-15 on Tuesday. They lost at Tapestry last night, 59-44. Now on the wrong end against Sweet Home. Mid-range jumper good for Keshenrow at the free throw line.
Showing another aspect of his game.
15 for Keshenrow. Pruitt, right baseline. Pull up Jay, missed it short and to the right. Rebound McGrath, he fires it up the floor. It's picked off, stolen right back by Rainey. He dimes Keshenrow down low, who finishes. Shadir Rainey's selflessness gets Keshenrow up to 17 points.
Yeah, having a career night, Keshenrow.
Left side, down the sideline for Buff Psi's Muhammad Adams, poked out of bounds. Adams, one of the few returning members for Buff Psi's team from that sectional championship finalist team 1 year ago. They did lose a good amount of size from their team last year, and as Coach Matt Helm says, probably their 2 best defenders as well graduated last year. Atop the key, Dixon pulls a triple. That's short off the bottom of the nylon, out of bounds. He's clamoring for a foul. Jessica Hernandez walks the other way.
Panthers went to his own there. That may be something that Coach Brandon Woods wants to work on tonight and see if he can get a little work on something he may use later in the season in closer ball games.
Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sweet Home pouring it on against Buff Psi. Against the 2-3 zone. Inside the lane, Patterson misses the underhand scoop. Stolen away by Dante Pruitt of Buff Psi. He lost control of the basketball as he went to the rack from the right block.
Just getting a little frustrated there. He's got to understand his game and what he can do out there. Then he's very effective for the Wolverines.
The rhythm for the Wolverines thrown off almost immediately at the start of this game. Timeout called by Sweet Home with 2:30 to go in the third quarter, up 67-22. The fouls on Jaleel Flowers really got Buff Psi scrambling early on. They were never able to recover without him on the floor.
No, they weren't, and he's got to understand, that the team doesn't flourish when you're sitting on the bench next to Matt Helm. You need to understand as a player how to play. You got to play hard without committing fouls. Fouling negates the hustle. Learn to play correctly, then you can play well.
Around Western New York, a scoring update from the Cataract Classic. Niagara Falls leads Williamsville South 40-38 at the end of 3 quarters. The Billies made up a 10-point deficit that they trailed at halftime up in Niagara Falls. That a non-league game to start the season for the defending Class AA champions Williamsville South from a year ago. We had their game where they beat Grand Island at Buff State last season. That was the last basketball game we had. The Billies trying to prove they can compete with a Class AAA team in independent Niagara Falls.
Well, they got the guard who's a real baller.
Nate
Wilemski. And when you got him on your team, I'm sure Coach Mike Trzebinski feels good about their chances.
Sweet Home out of the timeout, pass down low for Washington. He is rejected by Pruitt, got his own miss, missed it strong again. Rebound for Adams of Buff's side. To the left wing for Dixon. His hair's come out of his hair tie. Now to the near wing, 3 for Johnson, good. Dante Johnson, the sophomore from the right wing, drills it for Buff's side. 67-25, they trail. Sweet Home, right elbow, Washington flips it back for Patterson as he almost went out of bounds with it. Inside the zone, pass for LaRusso to the cutting Patterson, and he travels. Good defense from Dante Johnson, despite the scoreboard and what it reads, PJ, that's a good defensive possession from Buff's side.
A little bit better. There's some improvement there on that zone. Cutting the basketball off, forcing the guy out of control, and getting the violation to go your way.
For Buff's side, Richard Dixon, senior guard, stands at just 5'6". He's tries to split 2 defenders. Harper picks it away from him as he stole it right out of his pocket. Rainey tried to feed Wilhelm. Looked like a lob there for Quentin Wilhelm. Just a little low for Quentin to throw it down on. They do draw a foul nonetheless. Shadir Rainey, a showman. He's always been. PJ, I remember when I went to Cheektowaga Central, when we had Dominic Welch on the team.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
About a decade ago, eventual section leader in scoring all time. Shadir Rainey was no older than 10 years old. He was out at halftime and would just shoot threes. It was our halftime entertainment every home game, and I tell you, he had a pretty good shooting percentage at 9 or 10 years old.
Well, he's a gym rat. You know, gym rats love to be on the floor. Nothing like a gym rat.
Now at Sweet Home, Rainey, the 6th man, shows you the depth of the Panthers roster this year. Wilhelm goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. 68-25 they lead. Left corner 3 for Flowers, rattles around and out for Buff Cy. Offensive rebound for Johnson is put back off the window, good. Dante Johnson on the score sheet for the first time tonight. 68-27 they trail. The Wolverines set up in their 2-3 zone. Wilhelm in the middle of it for Sweet Home, dribbles low, nearly lost it to Flowers, then scoops it back for Rainey. Controls at the point with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Rainey pushes it inside for Wilhelm, who controls the rock in his right hand. Double team into the corner. Ball against the floor. Wilhelm pushes it back toward the lane. 4 seconds to shoot. The put up from Rainey draws a foul. Impressive improvisation from Sweet Home, and Wilhelm again shows more IQ.
Yeah, he's just a good athlete. You know, he's just a good athlete. And he's going to be a key player for them moving forward as you look at this tough schedule that Coach Brandon Woods and the Panthers are facing this year.
Rainey's first free throw is good. Sweet Home after this game will prepare for Lancaster 5 days from now. They get them at Panther High on Maple Road.
Maybe I'll go down to that one.
Second free throw off into the right for Rainey. Tough for you to not be biased for the Lancaster Legends. So that's a strange one. You got
that's a strange one.
Your alma mater against your current kids. Left wing for Buff Cy. A travel called against Jaleel Flowers. Should be good basketball nonetheless. Sweet Home against Lancaster.
Yeah, definitely. Just a few of my guys on the basketball team, I think, for the Legends, but. You know, that's a test that you want, a much different kind of test for the Panthers than here tonight.
That's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Sweet Home. Lancaster will be at Sweet Home. Travel called against the Panthers. Final 15 seconds of the third quarter. Buff Cy, Flowers, cross-court pass, splits 2 teammates out of bounds directly. It was looking to be for Dante Johnson, but Richard Dixon was at the arc nearest center court. Neither of them went for it. Sweet Home gets the ball right back. A chance to put up 71 or more before this third quarter comes to an end. Shadir Rainey, there's a three from the left wing. He draws the foul on this shot. Richard Dixon is upset with Ken Harris with the call.
But he was out of position again, Jack. You know, you're riding the guy's hip there. You don't have your body square. Wolverines have a Friday night full of frustration here tonight.
And the first real test for difficult times for first-year head coach Matt Helm, who was the JV head coach 2 years ago with a lot of these seniors on the roster now. Shadir Rainey misses the first two free throws all by himself. Rainey alone at the basket to our left. He sinks the third, going 1 for 3 on the trip.
Being on the floor by himself. Didn't he do it when he was 8 years old, you said?
So Rainey makes it 71-27 at the end of 3. We'll step aside for a quick moment. We'll be back after this.
Wine and Liquor, located at 930 Brighton Avenue in Tonawanda, features wines from all over the world and expert curators who can help you select the right wine or spirit for your occasion. Brighton Wine and Liquor, 930 Brighton Road in Tonawanda.
If you're from Western New York, you know snow. And unfortunately, you know how damaging those annoying potholes can be. But do you know what's involved in filling those potholes so your car tires stay intact? Let me put you on, because maintaining roads involves way more than the average citizen might think. Corey here with Compact Civics. Cities, counties, and states all take part in this process. How? Well, a state might be responsible for filling potholes and paving, but a city handles snow plowing and de-icing.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Sullivan Center in Buffalo, New York. Sweet Home up 71-27 on Buff Psi. It's the Wolverines with the ball. Flowers as it's picked away from him down low. Up ahead, Wilhelm tried to dunk it. He gets rejected. Put back good from McGrath. It was the chase down from Dante Jackson that stopped the dunk from Wilhelm.
I'm a little surprised that Coach Woods hasn't gone a little deeper into the bench here.
Flowers pump fake at the baseline. He lays it up and in. And that is Jaleel Flowers' first field goal of the game. With 7:25 to go in the fourth quarter, our spotlight player for Buff Psi, who averages 16 a night, has 3.
He's got to learn from this experience. He got himself into foul trouble early, could never establish a rhythm. Another good possession against the zone.
And Abdul Kishenro finishes with a floater inside. Right back, Richard Dixon comes for Buff Psi. He lays it in for 2 at the right side.
You got to like the Wolverine faithful. They're still enthusiastic when their team makes a good play.
Left wing, 3 on the way. The basket wiped off the board. The shot clock was off. The Sweet Home coaching staff, they don't seem to mind too much given the score. Well, that was a good possession, and they had a good look at a triple there. Sweet Home last season were 5-5 on the road. This a big feather in the cap of head coach Brandon Woods to walk into Buff Psi and silence this crowd for most of tonight's contest.
Yeah, they've been the better team. They've been the more composed team. They've been the more complete team. Still a long way to go in their season, and when you look at that schedule, there's a lot of tough matchups they'll face this year.
And that can prove them quite well. As you know, back in 1984, the only New York State championship team at Sweet Home High School on the basketball hardwood was in 84. You were on that team.
I was. Very proud of that team.
Who were some tough teams that you played that season?
Well, obviously the Bennett Tigers locally were the toughest team we played. We played a game there where they had the most spectators ever at a game at Sweet Home.
Wow.
Both bleachers packed, both ends packed, and 300 people told they couldn't come in because of fire code. And we won that game. They ended up winning. There was only large school and small school back then. We won the large school, they won the small school, and they were probably the best team we played all year.
Bennett also won the state championship.
That's what I mean. They won the state, and we won the large school state. They won the small school state. They were good guys, and we grew up playing against each other. But in that game, on that night, we got them.
But to your point, iron sharpens iron.
You had to. We would play Lackawanna, who always had a great program back then. We played in the old Long John Silver's tournament at UB. We played Long Island Lutheran. We played the best team in Canada.
Wow.
Cathedral Prep. And it's certainly, we were used to playing against high-quality opponents.
So not exactly the same level of strength of schedule that you had in 1984 with Sweet Home, but the Panthers and head coach Brandon Woods have put together a tough non-conference schedule in December to set themselves up.
You look at those Division I foes, Lancaster, Will North, Orchard Park. Then they take on Ken West and Jamestown. Okay, they got a game with Olmsted. They got a ball game with Niagara Falls. I think he's done a very nice job in scheduling, preparing his team for that February run.
I really like in the middle of February, they've got league games sandwiched by Niagara Falls on February 7th, and then another non-league game at the end of the season on the 16th of February, 4 days after their last regular season league game to get themselves ready for the playoffs.
Against Iroquois and young Justice Kleiss, who can really score the basketball. He can throw the football, too, pretty good.
Connolly Cup finalist, Justice Kleiss. We're back underway at the former home of Medaille College, the current home of the Buffalo Science Wolverines. 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter, 75-29, the lead for Sweet Home. Right elbow, turnaround jumper, Keshenrow knocks it down. Oh, Abdul Keshenrow with a career night.
He just seems to be getting more and more comfortable as the evening wears on. That was a very nice catch and square by the junior.
Right corner three for Dixon is off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. The Buff Psi fan base and bench arguing for a deflection. The way DeGier, Walker, and company are arguing for the call, you'd think this would be the game, but they're down 77-29.
Yeah, you got to focus on some other things here. And that's really the challenge for Matt Helm in his first year.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to take from tonight and last night? Okay, where are we and what do we need to spend our time on in practice to yield improvement?
Foul on Richard Dixon, well out to defend against Mackay Patterson. What would you take away if you were Matt Helm in his shoes? What would your practice look like, maybe not tomorrow, but Monday?
Well, tomorrow would definitely be practicing. But well, first of all, you've got to get in great basketball condition, but you've got to learn how to play defense together and then build your offense from transition up. They have some elements in transition that are there. I'm sorry, hoop there by
down low. It was
guess
again
who?
Keshenrow.
Guess who? But build your house defensively first and work from there.
Keshenrow fights on the floor for a rebound after a missed J from the left side of Washington.
I mean, real simply, Jack, the Wolverines have to learn to cut off the basket, okay, challenge shots, and block people out and rebound the basketball.
Keshenrow comes out of the game to a standing bench area and gets high-fived up and down the line. Abdul Keshenrow in his first varsity game, terrific. Right corner three for Buff Psi is strong from Flowers. Offensive rebound Dixon, down low pass Walker, lays it in for two.
Jackson LaRusso's entered the game along with Amir Harper. So Coach Woods going to his bench here in this one.
Near wing Harper drives baseline, poked out of bounds by Dante Johnson. 23 points for Abdul Keshenrow. And at least on my chart here, PJ, I didn't have Keshenrow highlighted, circled, or anything coming into tonight until head coach Brandon Woods said, yeah, look out for him as like our third best scoring option. He's got a team high 23 as this night comes to an end.
He's rebounded the basketball as well. Done a nice job for Coach Woods.
Defensive rebound for Shadir Rainey off the bench for Sweet Home on the missed shot from behind with under 5 minutes to go in the game. This all about pride at this point. You don't want to get embarrassed.
Well, you know, why do we have high school sports for young people? So that they can have a healthy way to face adversity head on. Because we know as adults, it's not if adversity is going to come, it's when. This is our dry run right here. Can they come together as a team, learn, not point fingers, not make excuses, and try to improve?
Wilhelm, left wing to the baseline. Pass for LaRusso. Tried to get it back for Wilhelm. Vargas the other way. His layup is good. Jackson Vargas rewarded for his hard work tonight. He's got 4 points.
He's a positive for them. Every time he's coming off the bench, he's done something positive for the Wolverines.
The bright pink shoes of Jackson Vargas have been moving quickly as he's stout atop the zone defense for the Wolverines. Near wing Rainey, guarded by Vargas. Pass inside, picked off by Humphrey. Up ahead looking for Vargas. He's behind the defense. His layup is strong. Put back Flowers, good. Timeout called by Sweet Home with 4:10 to go in the fourth quarter on the wrong end of a 4-0 run for Buff's side. 79-35, still the lead for Sweet Home though.
But Coach Woods doesn't want his guys to get into bad habits. They gave up 3 easy baskets in a row right there. And he wants to make sure they understand why that occurred and don't let it happen anymore.
The final score from the Cataract Classic, Niagara Falls takes down Williamsville South 53-49, the final, and a great game to end the first night of the Cataract Classic up north.
Yeah, that's a heck of a game, again, for both teams. Going and playing Niagara Falls, at Niagara Falls, very difficult. But I'm sure that Coach Trubinsky will take something from that game, as will Coach Carlos Bradbury, get their teams prepared for the tough league schedules they both face.
Catino Woods with 16, and how about Trey Gale, Roddy Gale's younger brother, with 12 points for Niagara Falls, the 2 leading scorers in the game tonight. Evan Pauley led Will South with 12 up in the Cataract Classic. So both teams from Niagara County victorious tonight up north in the Cataract Classic, with Newport beating Timon and the Falls taking down Will South. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a nice showcase of basketball right there early in the season. 4 quality programs.
That timeout and Around Western New York brought to you by the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library, profoundly public. 4:05 to go in the fourth quarter, 79-35, the lead for Sweet Home. They've got the ball. Atop the key, Amir Harper, the senior guard, looking to get on the score sheet. To Shadir Rainey on the left side. He's got 11. Harper inside the paint, right wing, 3 for Rainey, off front iron short, rebound in the air. Flowers tips it, recovered by Rainey of Sweet Home. Head coach Brandon Woods wanted him to kick it back out. Instead, it's right back inside for LaRusso. His mid-range J is strong, tapped home by Rainey.
Yep, Rainey attacking the glass there, finding lots of ways to score.
Buff Sy looks to respond inside, stolen away. Shadir Rainey picked it off from Jonte Johnson. Right side, Sweet Home sets up the offense right at the rack. It's a little bit like ball at the park in the summer right now. Amir Harper goes to the rack, nothing doing. This is like at the end of the run, PJ, when everyone's a little bit tired.
A little gassed.
Game's out of reach. Ball on the floor on the far side, and a timeout called by Buff Sy, trailing 81-35 with 2:59 to go in the ball game. Well, next week we've got a great girls basketball matchup for you, and the next 2 weeks for that matter. Next Friday night, December 12th at 7 p.m., we'll be up in Niagara County as the Lockport Lions, the Lady Lions, take on Niagara Wheatfield and the Falcons in a divisional Niagara Frontier League battle. Should be fun to see 2 teams that were similar to each other a year ago, above 500, with a lot of returning talent on both sides. And then we round out December before our 2-week holiday hiatus with Clarence and the Red Devils girls, Olivia Bell, star flag football player, and a few of those girls on the basketball court we'll see December 19th. Host Laney Babbage and the Orchard Park Quakers on December 19th at 7 p.m.
Those both should be very good in-league, in-division tilts for us to enjoy.
3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter from Buffalo Academy of Science. The Wolverines trailing by a bunch. Inside Flowers, his finger roll is good. Well, Flowers, who has held to just 1 point through 3 quarters, has added 3 field goals in this fourth quarter, bringing his total up to 7 on the night. Rainey for Sweet Home and this deep Panthers squad that has shown a lot of promise tonight in their season opener. Have it stolen away from LaRusso. Johnson hacks a three in transition. Strong rebound for Sweet Home and Caleb Adepoju.
Nice rebound there for the senior, 6'2".
Rainey to the near side. Three for the young Mason Huntington. He missed it strong. Standing at just 5'8". They want to get him the rock. Number one stands alone in the corner. Rainey peeks to him, then throws it into the teeth of the defense. Stolen away by Pruitt. Up ahead for Jackson Vargas of Buff Psi, off his hands and out of bounds. Under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. 81-37, the lead for the visitors from Sweet Home High School.
Coach Woods lists Mason Huntington, the junior, at 5'8". Man, they might have listed me at like 6'1" then when I played for Sweet Home. If Mason, he looked like a hustler though, this guy.
Mason must be wearing the insoles that you sold me.
Yeah, it might be the metric system. A lot of centimeters, I
gave him a couple extra. Out of bounds on the far side. Sweet Home will inbound with Huntington. Buff Psi brings in the reserves for the final few minutes. Flowers still remains out there, though, with Dixon.
And it's valuable time. You know, these guys got to get valuable time. They're just an ankle sprain away from being in there in key moments. So it's important to get game experience.
Our scholar athlete from Sweet Home, Luke Gustafson, in the game. He misses a left elbow jumper off into the left. Buff side the other way. Left arc three for Flowers is short. The three ball was falling all night on Tuesday here for them against Hutch Tech. Tonight, not so much from the very start. They were down by 20 in the first quarter, largely to the fact that their threes weren't falling.
Well, they were comfortable on Tuesday night, and they weren't comfortable at all against this Sweet Home team from the onset.
Shadir Rainey gives it up for Huntington. He has it stolen away by his numeral counterpart. Buff Psi's number one, Dixon, then turns it over as Rainey picks it off. Shadir Rainey, left elbow, kick to the right side. Open three on the way. Bank off the window, strong for Jordan Yenser, the 5'7" junior guard. And back the other way, Desir Walker slips on the hardwood. A turnover for Buff Psi. Back the other way on the left side. Sweet Home looks to get Yenser the ball again. Rainey gives it to Yenser. He jacks a three off back iron. Rebound in the air. Out to the three-point line with 30 seconds to go. Up ahead, Dante Johnson lays it up for Buff Psi. His second field goal of the night. 81-39 the score. With the shot clock off for the Sweet Home Panthers, they can dribble it out as Shadir Rainey has some words for the fans to his left as he walks up the sideline. High pressure defense. Dante Pruitt throws it away. Pruitt misses the layup as the final 10 seconds of the game will tick away. And Flowers picks off a pass up the floor. He runs up and he misses a finger roll finish. The putback for Dixon is good, and the Buff Psi fans cheer as the final score ends up 81-41. Sweet Home the win. What a start to the season for the Sweet Home Panthers. 1-0 with a dominant showing at Buff Psi. The Wolverines fall to 1-2 to start their independent season. Every game meaningful for Buff Psi. This, a 40-point loss at home to Sweet Home, will not sit well with head coach Matt Helm and company.
Yeah, you're going to have to learn from it. That's all you can do. You've got a long season ahead of you, and you got a lot of tough games on this schedule that they've put together. They do have some athletic ability. They just got to learn how to play the game correctly and together.
Well, the second half much closer, 31-22 the score in the second half. Sweet Home edged them out by 9 points, but a woeful first quarter for Buff Psi was the difference. 81-41 the final. We will step aside on Friday Night Lights and return with our post-game show brought to you by Villa Maria College. After this on